You know I just came back from there, right? Welcome. This is the first live simulcast transmitting in Malaysia, Japan, Burma, and Turkey. Simulcast UFM. It's the name of our show, Universal Fuquilist Mind. Back, no more repeats. And we're in the studio. We're interviewing some fascinating people today. Mike, Ed, Mountain, and what's your nature name? Ed?
Just Ed.
Ed. Just Ed. And topic of discussion today is Fuquilism. That's new. And well, earlier we were talking about Scientology and how like they use a clay table to communicate ideas. Like if you want to tell something, you make a little clay figure of them, make a little clay line to another clay figure, and that means you're gonna talk to them. So, how does that translate in Fuquilism? If you wanna communicate with someone, do you have to use a clay table? What do you use?
Well, in Fuquilism, we use the ancient alphabet, known as the clave.
Fascinating.
Yes. The Fuquilist language goes back 6 trillion years.
That was before America was discovered, right?
Way before America was discovered. It goes back to, it actually coordinates with the Scientologist belief that the world, the present universe, was created 6 trillion years ago. And at that moment, when Stiff Mug said be, and
Stiff Mug is?
Stiff Mug is the deity of Fuquilism.
Isn't that deity?
Well, it depends.
Right.
You know, language is relative. So to me, I say deity. A lot of Fuquilists prefer it that way. But back to the subject.
Right.
The clave is the ancient language, and a Fuquilist communicates with another Fuquilist using this ancient sacred language.
So you don't use clay?
No, not at all.
Not even stones or?
Primitive Fuquilists.
This is Stiff Mug. I am just speaking to my people because I want you to know that this is very glorious.
Well, praise Stiff Mug.
I give Stiff Mug sign.
Occasionally we have Stiff Mug drop in on us because we strive to be perfect beings like him. No man can be a perfect being.
Now,
but we
I've
strive.
heard legend in Fuquilism that Stiff Mug has actually three teeth, just 3 teeth.
I believe that is an inaccuracy.
You're obviously getting your information from the wrong person. From the beginning.
about
because
3 teeth.
the deity is above
Teeth.
everything that he creates.
He doesn't even have teeth, right?
No teeth at all. He's above
He is
his
teeth.
creation.
He's all essence. He's everything.
That's right. We are the reflection
Of his.
of what is and what shall be.
Wow, fascinating. Now I'd like to go to another subject. Now, many letters of the English alphabet have meanings in Fuquilism, and if we could play kind of like a password reflective game here, okay? Like if I said spot, what would you think?
Dithyrambe.
Dithyrambe, that's the obvious answer. But if I said the letter V, now, what does that reflect to you? Any thoughts?
Christopia.
Christopia. What about any reflections on the letter V? What does that tell you as a Fuquilist?
That to me,
What does that
I
represent?
would say would represent an oblique. What do you call your rear end?
Uranus.
Oblique Uranus.
Oblique Uranus. I've heard that term. Wow. So V represents to you an oblique Uranus.
That's right.
Wow. That's really, I should have guessed that. To me, the word V represents kind of like a, how shall I say it? It's kind of like a weird transforming leech that sucks onto you, but it won't let go. And sometimes these have been known to leech onto a fish, right? And they won't let go, but when the fish resists,
One fish to the
it
other.
goes from one fish to the other
to the other.
and sometimes you just have to squish it
Yeah.
to stop the whole cycle.
That's right.
Either
I've heard
or
that too.
it'll just keep going from fish to fish to fish to fish until it gets to that fish that it wanted. Then it'll just suck its blood dry, and then
It likes to suck.
yeah, it sucks basically. So that's one topic that we just exhausted. Now I see that this is our first studio. Now there are no girls present. How do you feel about that? How do you guys feel about that?
Pissed.
Were you expecting women to be here?
Yes, actually,
I think a lot of our viewers might have hoped for some women.
I'm ready to go now.
we were told that the female species would be present at this recording.
Female species. Now, some viewers might not be familiar with that. Like, what does that mean?
Well, there's different types of species. There's a male species and there's a female
Now, the
species.
female is different in.
And that,
The inner and the outer kind of different as far as maybe that.
right, most people would relate it to a zero.
Oh, wow. So all women are zeros.
Well, it's not that they're zeros, but you could relate it to a zero.
A zero. Now, what would represent men? Like
A one.
a one.
Exactly.
A 1 and a 0.
That's right.
So it's kind of like, is it a 10 or is it a 1? A 0, 1.
It's sort of like operating in binary.
Right. Now, I heard that you were troubled by the fact that some male viewers were hitting on you.
Yes,
Now, I've heard that you've felt like how do you react to that? What is your what is your reaction there?
Well, I'll personally say that
Stud muffin.
to each his own, and to me be my way, which is not that way.
So that's not your way.
That is not my way, and to be honest, I tend to pick up large projectiles if that way comes into my way.
What type of projectiles?
Generally, because I'm the mountain, I will pick up similar things such as
Pieces of a
rock,
mountain. Pieces of a mountain?
rock,
Rock,
slate,
slate,
granite,
gravel,
igneous, sedimentary. I won't pick up fungi unless the fungi is present upon the rock.
Now, what if there was, like an animal like that was kind of walking on the mountain? Would you pick that up?
Unless it was an armadillo.
So you've been known to throw armadillos at homosexuals.
Occasionally.
And how do they react to that? Do they enjoy armadillos being thrown at them? Or?
Actually, they do.
Really? Have you seen this action?
I was with them one time and it happened.
And how'd the armadillo react?
The armadillo actually enjoyed itself.
It was like frolicking, or?
Well, it attached itself, similar to what you related about V, to the person of homosexual
Persuasion.
persuasion.
And then it latched onto another after it was.
Yes. Animals
Well,
occasionally.
let's not generalize animals, because armadillos are.
Well, animals tend to, in tight situations, like if there's overpopulation, they tend to exhibit homosexual tendencies.
Mhm.
So I think in this case, it must have applied
Mhm.
because it enjoyed itself.
Wow. Fascinating. Now, I have to say that I have hairy legs, and my hairy legs are being on camera for the first time. This is a very embarrassing moment for me, and hopefully by the time the show is edited, we can have a bar in front of my legs, so people don't know I have hairy legs. But I don't know, how would you feel about, like, is there any part of yourselves that you would feel like you'd want a bar over, like, for this telecast that you feel kind of embarrassed about? Like,
Probably my balls. I think
balls.
probably my balls. Yeah, I'd say my balls.
so
Your balls are rather obstructing our view here.
we had to have an extra camera just so that we could, go around his balls. So that was kind of a hazard.
It was a
for filming
request.
this.
My agent had to make sure that was put into my contract before I came on the show. So we had to.
So
No
we-
balls. Nope. Absolutely no
No
balls.
balls. Okay. Now, and Michael, do you have any?
Well, personally, not really a bar, but if chroma key, like if I could be painted blue, because my skin tends to be highly reflective.
So you're kind of white.
Yes, due to the fact that I'm the mountain, I tend to stay for many days inside the mountain and think my thoughts.
Like this?
Yes, I tend to not travel out into the sun frequently,
Uh-huh.
as much as I should.
Right.
I tend to go in myself.
Wow. But so you would just like to be blue instead of like.
Like blue,
White.
so then
But a
on
mountain's
me,
not blue. I think
Well-
you're a liar.
but I'm saying what I would like.
I don't think that you'd really like that. I think you're lying.
Okay.
So why don't you
I am a
Why don't you
notorious
open up
liar.
and tell us the
Who
truth?
is this guy that called the mountain man a liar?
Why
I
don't you
say
open
we
up
take
and
him
tell,
out back
tell the
and-
truth here? I think
And
that
rough him up a little
God
bit.
damn it, I told you,
think that
don't
our
bring this
viewers
up in the show.
are owed the fact that you should be open on the show about what you feel there
Look,
should be
it's
a bar
a plot.
I say we take him out back and just beat him.
I've had enough of this. You are ejected from
Calm down,
the
my
order.
children. Calm down.
Okay.
Like
Resume speaking.
stiff mug. Thou art wise. So, mountain.
Alrighty then.
So, what is one of the physical activities you have planned for the show?
Physical. Well, hopefully in the near future we plan on rappelling.
Rappelling,
Yes.
like a repellent.
Well, no. Like rappelling down mountains.
Uh huh.
And
Repelling what?
rappelling.
Uh huh. Oh, I thought you meant repelling like you were like antimatter man and like someone threw something at you and you like repel it. Like,
That will be another show.
okay.
Because right now,
If I take a coin and do I have a coin? Well, I have a card. If I throw this at you, can you repel it?